Glad to have you back. Now, do Nigerians still fancy going to watch stage plays, or is the culture of dying? Or is it dying?
No, I don't think it's dying, because the point there is when you go to schools and you go to churches and you go to sometimes even the National Theatre, some of these things still take place.
So should
it's
you
really
just say that, is it dying on the large scale? It's popular locally, but when it comes to, you know, having it on the larger scale,
yeah,
you know,
what I know, if you go to Freedom Park and other places, you see that on daily basis there are momentum. People are working hard, bringing this to play, and a lot of people go there. The only thing is, those who go, the spectators, those who go to watch, those who go to watch this, are there more people, you know, going to watch? Now, joining us to talk about the stage play, The Confab, is the playwright and director, Nwando Alayande. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
Same here.
All right. Now, we've been asking this question. Stage play, stage play. Growing up, stage was the main thing. In fact, screen was not even part of anything. The stage was the main thing. If you can do stage, then you can do anything. Talk to us about stage play.
Oh, well, yes. Growing up, stage was it. You know, you had people doing both the unconventional types. You see people probably on stage doing, you know, and then suddenly it died. You know, it just went under, became quiet for a while, and it's there coming up again. It's picking up gradually, you know. But of course, you look back at the heydays and be like, when we go to National Theatre, when it was still bubbling, and you go there and you watch plays, all sorts of dramas, historical dramas then, I remember then, you know, and, well, it's gradually coming back.
But then you wonder what really led to its somehow
silence.
I
Or
don't want to say death. I don't want to say death.
Silent, more or less.
Because if you don't know where you fell, it will be difficult for you, you know, to avoid such obstacle in front of you.
So when you look at the greats, I think what really affected stage plays in Nigeria was partly funding, you know, or I won't say, but maybe not partly, maybe greatly. You know, to a very large extent, because
but who is supposed to fund stage plays?
No, it would be lovely if the entertainment sector is a very big sector and it's commercially viable. There's so much, you know. But the truth is that, do we believe enough, or does the government believe enough in this sector to, you know, to fund it,
the creative sector.
The creative sector, to push in enough funds? Of course, I think now it's beginning to pick up a little bit here, there, you know, but you can't compare it to Broadway.
True.
You know, because they seem to understand that this is a powerful sector, and they are pushing, they are honing it, they are owning it. You know, I think we should too.
Even the federal government of Nigeria understands and has accepted that the entertainment sector is a viable sector, a key sector. Absolutely. Now, let's talk about your work, The Confab. Tell us about it.
Okay,
You've been doing that for several years.
Well, I've been writing for a while. Yes, well, I've been writing for a while. The Confab is a satire. Some people call it a slapstick. It's just about, it's witty. It's witty dialogue, talking about Nigeria, Nigerians, who we are, what we do. You know, we're said to be the happiest people in the world at one time, even with all the pressure and all. And at the same time, with all the troubles and all the challenges we pass through, you know, we're able to come out tops. But then, what is the message in it? As in, what are we doing really that is putting us in the troubles that we are in? Are we actually being responsible? You know, so that's why I'm engaging everyone on all sides. So the truth is that with the Confab, you get to see yourself. You know, so we're not saying, oh, it's a government.
That average Nigerian.
Yeah, it's everybody.
That everyday attitude on the street and all of that. But basically, you've been doing this, and a lot of people have been talking about the Confab. But what impact has it had generally? Because when you do this and you portray Nigeria as to how things happen, how things are right now, what are the ills and all of that, and then at the end of the day, how we can get better. But what are the impacts of all of that now?
Well, I remember we had staged the Confab on a smaller stage a while ago, and the reaction was epic. You know, because initially I was like, and people were like, I saw myself, I saw the things, you know, and I want to believe that people took it home and tried to do something about it.
Okay.
You know, I want to believe people took it home and tried to do so. And I think it changed the narrative for some people some people's attitude towards certain things, at least one or two people that I knew, it changed. You know, so I was happy. Like, okay, maybe in my own little space, I should be able to...
You've impacted.
I've impacted. So why not take this to a bigger stage, and why not we talk to ourselves, and, you know, while we laugh and enjoy ourselves, we go back and think. You know, go back home and think.
Okay,
really.
So for the 6 years you've been doing this, how have you been able to build on the gains? Like you said, you know, people have told you that it impacted them well. So what have you done to, you know, improve on it so that you can reach a larger audience? Okay,
well, it's been a bit longer than 6 years that I've actually been writing. Oh. Yeah, and doing that. But, well, of course, I've gone back to school. I read a lot. When I say I move with, or I try to get close to those who have gone before me, ask questions. I realize that you are not an island, you know, and then don't be too big to learn. Even while producing this, while directing this, you know, I still call on my mentors. I need this. What do you think? How do you think we can do this? How do you think we can, you know, so I try to improve on myself. I try to improve on myself, improve on my skills, you know, what is the trend now, what is happening now, how is it being done, what are the better ways, because the last time we staged this, it was, what were the factors that we had at that time. Things have changed a bit, you know.
Now, if we have to compare, because the point there is, one would see, when it comes to acting and singing, yeah, the female, the lady, yeah. But when it comes to directing, producing, and all of that, a lot of people feel it's a guy thing more than lady. So you being in that space, not just being in that space, making a statement in that space and taking over, running that space, how challenging has it been for you?
Well, it's been quite challenging. It's been quite challenging, but we have female directors now, you know, and it's been quite challenging. I won't pretend that, oh, you know, and then not only the fact that you are a woman, and then you probably have a home to run and have kids, and you have all those things, and you're struggling, and you still at the same time want to go pursue your dream. You know, so yes, it could be quite challenging. But then,
and then we understand that, you know, stage performance is quite difficult because it requires a lot of attention, unlike screenplay. And as a director of a stage play, how have you been able to manage your characters, you know, every time?
You know, basically, everybody should just understand that it's live. It's live. There are no second takes. You know, so that's the first orientation.
We can't be editing.
We can't edit. We can't cheat. We can't pretend. So once you make the mistake on stage, you've made the mistake. You get? So that's the first thing we deal with. You get? And of course, once you have actors that are mature enough that understand this, you know, then it's easier to work with them. It's easier to work with them. But of course, you can't compare stage 2.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So the confab comes up this weekend or
yes,
something?
tomorrow, that's Saturday. Saturday and Sunday.
Where?
At the Terra Culture, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m.
All right, good luck.
Great.
Thank you.
Nwando Alayande.
There. We'll sit down and watch stage play.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
Nwando Alayande, director,
Thank
producer, the confab, which comes up tomorrow. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right.